Okay guys, so this is our fourth and final ellipse method. Okay, it's either called the intersecting arcs or foci or radial interceptors. Okay, the reason it's called foci is because we're going to be using the focal points this time to construct our ellipse. Okay, so a little note on the focus. Focus is one singular foci of foci. So an ellipse has two focus points. The foci lie on the major axis, okay, spaced out equally on each side of the center. If the major axis and minor axes are the same length, the figure is a circle and both foci are at the center. Okay? So let's see how we construct it. So, using a major axis of 140 and a minor axis of 60 millimeters, construct the ellipse required with the major axis resting on the horizontal plane. So, horizontal plane would be like this. It would belong to the major axis. So, 140 against 60. So, find the middle. And 60 minor axis. Okay. So, first thing we need to do for this ellipse is find the focal points, which you should already know how to do now. Have the major, go from one side of the minor and mark them out. Okay, and there I have, this doesn't look right, give me a second. Guys, when something doesn't look right, please recheck it. In fact, it's not, look, there. And there we have F1 and F2. Okay, now we're gonna letter our sides. Okay, so here we have A, O for the center, B, C, and D. Okay, now we're gonna divide, use a division of a line for between F1 and O. We're gonna divide it. We divide it into, let's say, 6. 6 is the ideal number, okay, for this method. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now it's time to plot. So how do we plot these? I'm gonna place my compass on C and open till 1. Okay, so I have opened from C till 1. Then I take this measurement, place it on F1 and draw an arc above and below. And I can do the same thing for F2 because both sides of the ellipse are equal. Now, we open from D to 1, Y1, because we're plotting point 1. We go on F2, arc, arc. Go on F1, do the same thing on this side, arc, arc. So, remember, we always measure from C to the point, but we mark out from F1 and F2. And remember, the arcs that we draw on one side, we have to draw on the other. Okay? So we always measure from C to the point and D to the point, but we mark out from F1 and F2. So here we plotted the points for point 1, and we do the exact same thing for the rest of the points. And then through freehand method, just draw the ellipse.